So with Gen 1, a little bit different underneath. What we did, the double cross design just wasn't going to work. So this is what we kind of came up with. And this is like, that's kind of like a frame rail. And we go from, let's see, the front, which, kind of slides up over the front subframe, and to the back. And this kind of welds in right where the bolt for the shackle spring would go through here. So that's where it welds on the back. And it's extra hole or for something else we'll talk about in the coming weeks. But this is, it's not that heavy, but it's pretty rigid. And it does an amazing job. I mean, it's like adding a full subframe underneath the car. So that's the inside. Now on the outside, as luck would have it, this is the jacking rail. And as it turns out, this is the same jacking rail that we use on the Fox Mustangs and the S197s. So the same jacking rail for S197 and Fox also works on the Gen 1 Mustangs. So that's kind of handy. Now this is the matrix brace, and it's a little bit different than our other matrix brace. Specifically for this chassis, we had to put some hoop-de-doos in it. But the whole concept is, we've got the jacking rail on the outside, we got the subframe on the inside, and when you look at it, we end up with 1, 2, 3, 4 triangulations per side. Remember, I said triangles are the strongest engineering shape, and it really does just like on the all our other Mustangs, the Fox SN95 and S197. It really firms up the middle of the car. Now, when I say stiffen the chassis, some people think it's going to stiffen the ride. Absolutely the opposite. When you firm up the chassis, it's like all of a sudden you're losing squeaks and rattles, and the platform feels really solid, and the whole ride quality gets better because you're not letting the actual unibody itself become a fifth and unwanted suspension member moving around. When the suspension's moving and the body's moving with it, suspension's really not doing its job. So when you start rigiding up the chassis, it lets the suspension do its job, and it does amazing. So this is like the kind of like one of the prototypes that we did. If there's enough interest, we will put them back into production. It'll take maybe a month or two, but if you know anybody that might be interested in matrix system for Gen 1 Mustangs, let us know. I think the thing we're going to run into, though, with all these cars that are 50 years old, is nothing's going to be an exact fit. I think anybody that puts it on has to be in their mind thinking that, the car's 50 years old, things have changed. Maybe people have done some work on it, and it's not, the jacking rail will be fine on the outside. The matrix will be okay, but the subframe, you may need to twiddle and tweak with it a little bit, just because 50-year-old cars, they move around a lot. People have replaced the floor pan in some. So, but anyway, it will do an amazing job of firming up the chassis and then also improving ride, taking away squeaks and rattles.